All right. What's going on, guys? Get into another little edition here of looking into yesterday in the past and trying to compare it, or at least see the resemblance to today. Learn little bit about history, but then also trying to see how it maybe connects or how we can learn. Um, First thing that I had found here, 1920 through 1933, we did have prohibition in the U.S. Um, banning the sale of alcohol, um, but they were still giving out liquor license, supposedly during this time. But beverages could only contain more than 1/2% of alcohol in them. Um, Overturned in '33, and I thought it was just kind of a mind trip to look now at the map of the U.S. that shows the states that now allow legalized marijuana. You can see the chart here at the top. Legalized is black, medical and decriminalized. Medical, decriminalized, fully legal. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6 states that are going with the federal mandate that it is federally illegal. So just kind of interesting to see um, the the progression, or even the change. Maybe not progression, but I smoke. I don't know um, if it's recommended for everybody. Um, Definitely helps me, but I wouldn't recommend it if you've never done it and you don't need it. Um, Maybe, I don't know, but basically, I thought it was a little bit of a resemblance there. But it's not the day that it was actually prohibited in the U.S. alcohol. In 1920, February 4th, yesterday, someone had stolen 21 barrels of whiskey, which was held at Pennsylvania Brewery. The person who had taken this liquor was sentenced to a fine of $7,000. Um, Pretty intense. Uh, the complete ban of it, and some companies even started going over into making non-alcoholic. Um, you know, Alcohol is not the best thing, but definitely can loosen you up, I guess, if you're stressed. But it's definitely not the best when you become an alcoholic, so I don't recommend that. But comparing the legalization and U.S. prohibition, um, I also found here. This is another thing that's federally enforced through the Constitution. We have our Second Amendment right, and Democrats are pushing farther and farther to take that away from us. Um, and I've looked into some stuff into it, and legally it doesn't even say that if you're a felon, after you've done your time and served your time, that you technically can't own the gun in the Constitution. That's even pretty much every state federally if you're a felon. But just weird to see the Constitution, um, the laws that we live by. Each state's pretty much doing their own shit here now. So this was yesterday, kind of comparing it also to prohibition, but in the sense of a federal mandate. Um, this is more so Constitution, but the Sabika Ashika Firearm Licensing and Registration Act. Dan Bongino did a very good breakdown of this. But it was basically a student who was murdered, who they're naming it after. But it's gonna go as far as to even say that your ex can basically write that they don't think you're fit to handle a gun. So if you guys get into a bad breakup, in sense, would you still be able to say no? I don't think he should be able to have a gun because we went through a bad breakup. I mean, the lines are definitely getting drawn on where how far they'll push it. They keep trying to draw a new line. Um, Check out Dan Bongino's. He recommends contact your local congressman and let them know that you disagree with this. Um, it's pretty dangerous stuff there. Uh, I brought up this page. It's 7 maps that show, gun restrictions, and how many regulations that there are. And there's not one state that doesn't have regulations on guns. Um, Now, if it's constitutional, I would have to look into what their regulations are. I mean, they were pretty vague in the Constitution at the same time, so it's a weird one there. Targeted assault weapons and large capacity magazines. A couple different states that ban that, majority allow. Actually, assault weapons. I think they're using the wrong verbiage there. I won a Armalite, a rifle. Looks kind of like this one here in a raffle about 2 years ago. I did trade it for a car, so I don't have it anymore. That was, when I wasn't worrying about protests, or riots and people breaking into my house. So I did recently go out and buy a gun. Never actually ever liked guns. I had a family member who had been shot and got killed, and just seemed like too much power in one hand for somebody. And even to now, it would still, I'm still hesitant. I don't know. It's a weird one for me. Someone breaks into your house, um, you shoot until they stop moving so that they don't get up and try to kill you after. I don't know. It's weird for me, and if you guys want to put some input on it, let me know. But just laws there, comparing prohibition pretty much to the laws that are being put in place now. Also yesterday, the U.S. banks go bust in 1931. As banks continue to clear across the U.S. when depositors ask for their deposits back, the problems continue to escalate as most small banks had large amounts invested in the stock market, and with the crash of the Wall Street in late 1929, many banks do not have sufficient funds left to meet current member deposits. Many are going into receivership with little help for investors. The government is looking at schemes to bail the banks out and help consumer confidence. Gotta love it, right? Now we take a look into today, and where our dollar is, and it's not good. This is from December 1st, 2020, so the end of last year. But if you think the dollar has lost value now, just wait. The buck off almost 5% in 2020. That's with, comparing that to our GDP to debt. We're at an all-time high, 130%. You look at the last 5 years. Let me see if I can zoom out. It's pretty bad. Gone up it's almost 40 or 35% right here in the last 5 years. Let's see, 10 years. Yeah, so just in 2010, we were below 100%. So at least we were making a dent in the very slightest. Yeah. So it's pretty alarming, to say the least. Markets fell globally, though. It's basically, what's gotten down to with the coronavirus and everybody being put on lockdown. And you got our great leader going and telling people that you need to give people more money and raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Like, what? In the middle of all of this, we're gonna make it harder for the person running the business, supplying what is demanded by the people, supply and demand. I don't know. It's definitely a crazy one. But the greatest thing, which would be a perfect segue, is the Winter Olympics. The first Winter Olympics happened yesterday in 1932. It was held in Lake Placid, New York. How do we compare that today? How else? With the Super Bowl. Which came up that Weekend says to expect no special guest at Super Bowl 2021 halftime show. What a bummer, man. I was waiting to possibly see maybe we'll have Jenner, the Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, we'll have her go out there and do something this year. With last year, we had J Lo's wonderful scene. People freak the fuck out on that. It's out there, right? I mean, man. But no special guests this year, guys. It's COVID. We all gotta be careful. No halftime show. Well, maybe a halftime show, but no guests. Or it will be surprise guests. Who knows? But I just thought that was hilarious that no halftime show, no special guests. Is that because of what you guys did last year? Did you realize that it wasn't the best PR stunt? All right, and then to make it even better, yesterday, 2004, Facebook, a mainstream online social network, is founded by Mark Zuckerberg. The Zuck. Oh my god. A dude that looks like an alien. Alright, so Facebook founded yesterday. When we look into what's going on with Facebook today, well, the Myanmar military government orders telecom networks to temporarily block Facebook after they had a military coup in their government and took over. It came out that the reason they did so, a move comes after days of unrest in Myanmar. Early this week, military took control of the country and declared a state of emergency for a year after detaining civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other democratically elected leaders for her ruling National League for Democracy. Following the coup, citizens in many parts of Myanmar had reported facing internet and cellular outages for several hours. And then it goes on to say Facebook, which has become synonymous with internet for citizens in Myanmar, has long been blamed for not doing enough to curb the spread of misinformation that prompted real-world violence in the country. Oh, man. This is going to go perfect with their narrative that they need a truth commission. Look at Myanmar. Well, when we don't just look foreign, we could still bring it back to domestically. Facebook suspended Donald Trump indefinitely. Dog's freaked out. I'm sorry. Facebook suspended Donald Trump indefinitely. This group could overturn that decision. So a group's looking to overturn the decision. International panel will decide if Donald Trump can post on Facebook. And this will be the Internet Czar, or Czar. They get to decide and determine. And then, even better, to make everything seem like it's not all going bad. We have one man standing for us, and a team of intelligent people with him. No, they're all cool. I like them all. But his lawyer, smart dude, and I think he's going to get somewhere with it, so it should be interesting to see where this goes. But it's funny that it came out February 1st, actually. But, if you would have waited, 3 more days? It would have been the same day you file a lawsuit that Facebook actually got started. Um, put that in the Facebook history, right? But yeah, thought that was pretty hilarious. And then on the other hand of it, you have Dan Bongino um, firing back. Recently ousted Parler CEO John Matz. Um, and at the same hand, you have Gab um, at the beginning of the year in January gaining 300 million users. So altogether, seems like there are new platforms coming up having their own issues, while Facebook is having their issues in the U.S. but also globally. Um, pretty interesting stuff there. Also, what happened yesterday, which can't really, I can kind of compare it back to today. I mean, when you look at AOC and her extreme rhetoric on how the other side wants to kill her, and it's almost like a one system party. Now, I don't know because there's a lot of different speculation on the man and what actually happened. And I haven't read too far into it, but Muammar Gaddafi speaks out on democracy in Africa. The new African Union chairman, Libya's leader Muammar Gaddafi, has said that multi-party democracy in Africa leads to bloodshed. Basically, concluded that the best model for Africa was his own country, where opposing parties are not allowed. So moving down to a one-party system. Now, I thought it was kind of dangerous, a one-party system. It shows pretty much that the majority of one-party systems fail. This nation was started on somewhat of a one-party system. There was other caucuses, you had different parties, but overall we were united as one. And then with the Civil War, you had the two prominent parties basically pop out of it. But it's kind of interesting to look at it now. They're talking, a third party, but you're discounting the libertarians, you're discounting the independents, you're discounting the Green Party. I mean, there's definitely a little diversity in the parties we have, and I think overall a two-party system where two main parties, to where almost it was said to me it's almost like a civil war of words happen every 4 years. That basically there's a change every 4 years, but it keeps it healthy and it keeps it innovative. Now, I don't know if that's correct, but that's basically what I had been told, that it can be beneficial to have these very opposing. We should find some way to meet in the middle, and there's way too much of the opposite sides. But you do want to have the opposite point of view. If you can't see it yourself, even with just any conversation, I like going on Omegle and talking and stuff. But I thought it was interesting that Muammar Gaddafi completely didn't want that at all. A multi-party democracy. He wanted just a democracy, I guess. One-party democracy, which I believe is basically what our nation was. But the republic, the constitutional republic, I would have to look into it more because I'm not too familiar, and I probably sound stupid right now, but I thought it was interesting to move down to a one-party system. If I am off, let me know what you guys think. I probably am gonna go later live tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Again, let me know what you think. And I hope you have a good night. Peace.